Guys, what's up? Welcome back into the channel. Today you see my dad's episode in the previous week of sticks. We were talking about lies, flexes, blah blah blah, his old one sticks. Now we're getting somewhat of my collection. My collection's big. There's a ton of sticks in the basement. I had to leave some out. Not great lighting down there, so we're not filming in there, so we're doing it in the backyard. And I picked some special ones out. The theme, I'm gonna go from what I used kind of growing up and some stories about it, and then going into collection of what I got now, how I got them, stories behind them. So let's get on into it. Thanks again as always for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Okay, so we're actually starting at this one right here. It's a Reebok 11K. Now, story of this is actually signed by Larks. Dylan Larkin, shout out to him. Forgot about that. This stick right here, this was like one of my first kind of ones growing up. Story behind it, my brother goes away at development camp in Anaheim. He gets drafted by Anaheim, goes out there. He came home the first time we ever had like Christmas, really, with sticks. He brought a ton of these home. And some other ones as well, some Eastons and stuff. But I use this in my Bantam year, the old 11K. So this is how I really got started, this heavy clunker thing. But I remember Sid back in the day with this thing, sniping a ton of goals. So love this thing. Moving from there, again, this is my collection of what I used kind of growing up. Goes into X60. Probably my favorite stick. First stick with my name on it. So again, my brother, he's over playing at Michigan State. See the little Sparty head on it. This was his pattern, his flex at the time. Let's see, it doesn't even have the flex on there, it just has P92. Oh yeah, 107. 107, so G15, which is X60 with a Sakic curve. Yeah, man, this thing was money. So I would get, the reason it has this tape on there, that's kind of the tape to strengthen it on up. What's that called? Do you remember?
Fiberglass.
Fiberglass tape. Yeah, it just sort of strengthens it, because I would get kind of his broken bladed ones and stuff. He would bring it home to me. So this was kind of, yeah, Bantam midget year. I think Bantam, because midget, I ended up going to this X60, but now it was like we're getting custom colors of the green. And back then it was like nobody had like custom colors, like, you know, logo again on it. Yeah, go green. It's cool. Very low lie on this. This was a low lie Sakic is what we used, but great sticks. Love this one. Now the year after that, I actually should say, okay, I think I got this right here because I'm adjusting on the fly. I think those were both Bantam because I remember this is what I used in midget. So now we went to the Apex. APX, same thing, Perlini 11 on there. My brother's one. Used to tape like full blade, a little soft blade, but I remember going to this one. I think I'll pop up a picture, maybe even of me using it. I'm not sure if it's that or X60 with bell tire, but this was a great stick. I remember really liking this. Kind of a different feel. Now, this next one that I'm gonna go to, this one altered the course of my stick career because it was the worst one I've ever used. First time away from home, playing junior, I get drafted to the Barrie Colts. They come in and they say, okay, the Easton rep meets with every guy. What do you want? What kind of curve? It's the first time I'm choosing a stick. I'm all excited. You know, I'm looking at the Mako. It's all white. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. And he ends up saying to me, you know, we could do a black blade too. And I thought in my head that meant like, it was like spray painted kind of like from here down of black. Well, this is what they did. Barely like a black blade. I thought it was like coming up here and stuff. I'd never used a white stick in my life. Always taped with black. So I thought that was the worst looking thing ever, looking down on that. And then also you'll notice on here, like how dark that is. There's no white there. Well, that's because I was so consumed about the color and stuff. I ordered a lie 6 pattern, which I'd never used in my life. So I used a Sakic with a high lie. Oh, I couldn't shoot at all with this thing. Blowing it way over the net, missing the net. So I'd always have to sand the heck out of the heel down. I learned that day though, like why I keep this one in a special. because I never made that mistake again. I always ordered what I wanted, and made sure I went through all the specs: lie, flex, curve, height, grip, kick point. I never made that same mistake again. So I went from this. In the meantime, when they ordered those, you know, you're waiting for that to come in about, God, a couple months at least. So I get those in, I'm all excited to use them. They're terrible, right? So now I can't use them. What am I using in the meantime? This. Shout out to Burmy. So look at this one. Square toe, but rounded here. So Alexander Burmistrov, my good buddy, he developed this curve. He used to basically take a socket, cut the toe off right here, but then they started to make it for them. They said, what if we can round it for you? And he said, yeah, I'd like that. So everybody on the team, a bunch of guys were using these. So I kind of went to this. This was still high lies, not exactly what I like. But yeah, it did the trick for a little bit. So going from there, I get traded from the OHL, right? I get traded from Barrie to Niagara in the OHL. As I go to get traded, I didn't even realize, like literally showed up, my new sticks had got there, but I got traded. So I didn't even really realize. I come into Niagara for the first practice. I go through my sticks and I'm like, oh yeah, I got these new sticks. Again, Easton, these ones. But the difference in these, I got a lower lie. So I finally got that lower lie that I wanted, that I screwed up on the white batch, all black stick. And straight off the hop, I was like, man, right away, what a difference of like, just pure happiness, loved it. You know, like I said, never made that same mistake again with the sticks, but you gotta learn. So this was cool, love this stick, Easton RS, good one. So going to quite possibly my favorite stick that I've ever used. Reebok Ribcore, original Ribcore, my pattern. So the thing about this is actually, you can't really tell on there, but it says Ice Dogs. So what happened is we came back for training camp my second year in the OHL, my draft year. And we switched over from CCM to, or from Easton to CCM, we switched. A lot of teams were doing it. So the CCM rep is coming around. Shout out to Timmy Schultz, because this guy treated me so well from the start. At the time, these, I'll show you which one, kind of right here. They started making these white ones, kind of like this. And I'll show you it in a bit, this exact stick. But they started making these white sticks. I didn't really like them. Like I said, I had terrible success with the other ones. I didn't want another white stick. I said, hey, Timmy, I've only ever used black sticks my whole life. I tape it black. Like, I need a black stick. Like, can't you just do it and make it black? And so he said, you know what? Because the whole team was getting these white ones. He said, we're working on something right now. How many sticks do you have currently? I said, I got a little bit to get me by those Eastons still. He said, yeah, give me a little bit, but I'll send you in some black ones. So these are the ones that showed up. I remember being one of the first guys kind of in the OHL to use these black Reebok rib cores, and man, first game, like I was firing rockets with it in practice. And then I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna switch and I'll use it tomorrow in the game. Like right away, one practice, one game. First game, hat trick, 5 points against Owen Sound, and it was like, okay, staying with this. So this is one of my favorite ones. I only have one left. Moved from there. So CCM Reebok, CCM bought Reebok, started branding everything with CCM on it, moved to the 40K. So that was the next generation of where I went to. I kept saying, hey, can't you just get me the ones with the Reebok? And because I just wanted to keep the same stick. I don't like switching that. They ended up giving me this, hated it, didn't like it. It was so-so. I kind of used this, I switched. I don't have it exactly out here, but I had a Bauer that I sort of used my third year on and off with this, and then same thing in my fourth year in junior. This is a cool stick right here. I'll bring you in a little bit closer. this one, look, I was using it on the power play at the time. I noted PP, but it's got the Team Canada logo, and it was a Bauer. The gray Bauer. Again, I wasn't a massive fan of the black tape with the gray. I didn't think that looked that great, but nice looking stick. Like, we did that. That's a World Junior stick. They made that for me in the World Juniors. So, yeah. Moving on next. So we're out of junior. We're into pro now. This baby right here, guys, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. You got a chance to win not this exact stick, and I'll tell you why, because I will show you why in a little second. But hit that subscribe button. You're automatically going to be entered in. When I hit 20K subscribers, I'm going to give away. I have a bunch of these ones that I use in the NHL. So the reason I'm not giving this one away, I grabbed this. So I will flip around on the knob. I don't know if you can tell up there. So that actually says WINTERCLASSIC, Winter Classic. So I wrote on a lot of my sticks, I would write different things on it. This one I wrote Winter Classic, and then it was the 11th. So I put 11th IN in H, which stands for history. It was the 11th game in history of the Winter Classic, and it was my first one. So I write that on the back of stick. I ended up, I'll pop it up of the goal that I scored with this. But yeah, that was my tape job back then. Some baby powder on it, as you can see. Kind of taped the toe, but love this thing. So use that stick for a ton of years. First, second, third year pro, end up going to Chicago. Kind of feel like I need to switch sticks a little bit. I ended up moving into this pattern right here, which is Michael Kempny. So this pattern goes along with this guy that a lot of you would know, Marian Hossa. They use the same sort of patterns. Well, actually, sorry, I should say Hossa took Michael Kempny's pattern, started using it. For me, I was looking for something a little bit, I was craving like more curve. Kept telling, you know, the companies like, make me a little bit more curve. So I had started to kind of use this, and I was using these two models, Hossa stick and this Kempny. I'll pop up at a time. I do have it a little bit later. I'll show you the stick, but I scored with this Kempny one, my first Blackhawks goal. So as I said, that I was craving more curve. Well, this is that same stick that I showed you a couple ago, the one that I used for years, but now that's more curve on there. I don't know if you can see that, but that thing is like, that's a hook. So I got them at the end. I took the Hossa Curve. This is what happens with companies. They send you certain ones. I think Warrior was the one who did it. So Warrior sent me a couple of these blades, right? A pattern blade, Sakic or something, P92. So you take the blade, you curve it however you want, you give it back to them, and then they make this. So that's what I did. I said, I took my curve, heated it up, curved it more, and then gave it back to them, and they made me this. And that was the iteration of it. Rewind, go back to my first ever video, Duncan Keith and rating players. When I'm telling that story, for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'll pop the video up. Parchy! And the trainer comes running, and he goes, I want you to effing order 50 of Pearls' sticks. And then he kind of looked at me and he gave me a wink, and he's like, don't worry, brother, I got you. And then he goes, and I want 50 of the big curve ones. Dunks comes in, he orders 50 of my sticks, and he says, I want 50 of the big curve. Well, this is that big curve. So yeah, this was the one he was talking about. Okay, now moving more into recent years. This one is the one that got it started for me. So I used those CCM ones for years. COVID happens. Training in COVID, I take a bunch of these guys, this guy's sticks right here. Johnny Taser. So never used white tape in my life up to that point. Taser was using these. A bunch of guys were switching. Eric Gustafson, Dunk switched from mine to Tasers. Kooks started using these. So I took a couple home. And my brother, shout out to him, was the first one. He was like, man, that Gustafson Tase one is nice. We were just he was using that all summer. He's like, I really like that. And then I just decided, I'm like, you know what, yeah, let me give me that a shot. And then tried it, and was just using it over COVID. There was no like end sight of like when are we gonna play and stuff. I'm like, man, I love this thing. I need like more of these. So went like from my curve, which was always P92, low lie 5, changed to this Taser one and rolled with that for a while. So went to this is what I used in Europe, the Nexus. This was the Geo, and then I changed my code too. I went to Bubs. I started doing all my sticks from Perlini to Bubs, and then brought me to the newest iteration, Proto. So sometimes I spray paint here just to get a stiffer feel. This is one stick, so you'll notice this says Canada P92. So this is the Sling. Why I have this one in here is because this is just a stock stick, but Bauer actually, not many guys were interested in this, but when I was in Edmonton, I was running hot with those sticks over there that I just showed you. I decided, I was like, you know what? The Bauer guy came in one day, I seen this, and I'm like, hey, you mind if I take that for a rip on the ice? He's like, yeah, for sure. So I went out, used it. I'm like, dude, make me a few of those in my pattern. So they made a few of these, and I was actually the first guy in NHL history to use this model of the Sling in an NHL game. I think this is like the, I don't know what the first one, because they made a hole in it before, but it wasn't called Sling. Maybe this is, yeah, Sling 2.0 or something like that. But I'll pop up the text from the rep, because he said you're the first guy in the NHL to use this. So it was awesome. It was really, really cool. And I don't actually, this is the only one I have of that, which sucks. After I left Edmonton, they kept all those damn Slings, but I wanted them. Moving on to the last one before we take a quick break here. We're running on 18 minutes right now. You'll notice this is in the wrapper. Shout out to Geppetto. Pro stock sticks, baby. Bubs Pro. Here, I'm gonna unwrap this for you right now. We'll take a look at it. So, if you don't know about Pro stock sticks, they got the ability to make any pattern. He takes any guy's pattern, any of these ones that you've seen of mine, Hossa, Kempny, Toews, Kane, Kucherov, whoever's. Go on his website right now. I'll show you where to go. And sorry guys, I'm having trouble getting this off. All right guys, so yeah, Pro stock sticks, as I was saying, got the ability, look, custom, he did a custom color, obviously the Pro. I like the black bottom, like white too, but yeah, he did it up my way, really cool. But yeah, you can do any of the Pros curves, guys. Any Pros curve that you see today, he's got that on the site. So it's really, really cool. The Bauer, CCM, all these companies, they don't have the ability to really give you the Pros curves, especially like to the public. So this guy, again, shout out to Geppetto, good buddy of mine. He's been so helpful. We're hopefully gonna do up something with sticks this year. But yeah, these sticks are awesome. They're really, really light. Good feel on them. Everything that I would look for in like a Bauer, like this feels like. So yeah guys, check them out. Guys, thanks as always for watching. That's the end of part 1 of my stick collection, everything I used growing up all the way now until Pro. Some cool stories in between. I wanted to keep it a little bit shorter, you know, around 20 minutes. I didn't want to have like a 45 minute video for you guys. Stick around the weeks to come, either next week or the week after. Look for this part 2 of this episode where I go through, guys, a bunch of different signed sticks, how NHL signed sticks work, asking for sticks from different guys, if they give them, if they don't. Yeah, the whole kind of process of doing that. Some cool sticks that I have, Ovechkin, Kucherov, all these kind of ones. and from very special years too. So keep an eye out for that part 2. Thanks as always for subscribing. Remember, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You're automatically entered in to win one of my signed NHL sticks. I said that at the start of the episode, but just so you know. And also another thing, if you're looking to buy sticks, I'm gonna link in my sideline swap down below. Go into the link in the bio. If you wanna buy sticks, I got sticks up for sale. So check those 2 things out. Guys, thanks as always. Have a blessed day. We'll see you soon. Peace.